Dear Starseeds, I am seeing so many of you carrying a weight that you do not even know how to explain. A pain that seems to come from a place much deeper than the apparent circumstances of your earthly lives. And today I come here to reveal to you exactly what is happening in this crucial moment of your existence. Because what you are feeling is not coincidence. It is not weakness. And it is definitely not something that you should carry alone for even one more single day. My name is Ayla, and I am an emissary of the stellar realms, sent directly by the councils of light that have observed and guided humanity's journey for eons. And today, I bring you a transmission that will literally reposition everything you believed you knew about your own lives, about your relationships, and about the true purpose for which you chose to incarnate here, in this specific era, on this planet in transformation. What I will share with you is not merely information. It is an energetic activation that has been designed specifically for this exact moment when your soul is finally ready to receive it. And because of this, I implore you to remain with me until the end of this message, because the beings of light who coordinate my transmission have made it clear that those who are able to hear this truth until the very end will experience an opening of consciousness that will fundamentally change the way you see every relationship, every difficulty, and every apparent emptiness in your lives. Before we continue with these profound revelations that will transform your understanding of yourself, I would like to ask you to leave a sign that you are truly present on this journey with me. So if this transmission is already resonating in your heart, if you have already felt that chill of recognition that something greater is moving through these words, take this moment and subscribe to the channel so that or transmissions like this one can reach you at the exact moment when your soul is calling for them. Also, leave your like as a way of amplifying this frequency for other starseeds who are still sleeping and do not know that they are searching for exactly what you are finding right now. And in the comments, I want you to share a word or a phrase that captures what you are feeling in this exact instant. Because when multiple souls express the same truth simultaneously, we create an energetic porta, all that exponentially amplifies the power of this transmission for the entire community. So let us know. What is that silent pain that you have been carrying alone, and that is asking to finally be seen and recognized? And as we continue, I need to share something that came directly from the realms of light. There exists a sacred compendium that has been channeled specifically for the starseeds of this era, a repository of crystalline wisdom that contains the literal keys for you to finally connect with your true spiritual essence and awaken the powers that sleep dormant within you since before this incarnation. I am speaking of the heart activation, a rare treasure of stellar wisdom, capable of transforming your spiritual journey, an ebook that has been compiled through direct transmissions from the stellar councils, and that contains practices, frequencies, and knowledge that you simply cannot find anywhere else on planet Earth. Because this material was not channeled for the masses, it will as channeled specifically for those who recognize that you are here for much more than simply existing, for those whose soul already knows that it needs to elevate your vibration and access higher dimensions of consciousness and power. And for the first time, this edition is being made available, but only for an extremely limited time. Because the energy that carries this ebook is so potent that the cosmic guardians have allowed it to remain accessible only during this specific cycle of planeta activations. So the link to access the heart activation is in the first comment below, but I warn you that many of you who try to access it, when you come to read this, will discover that it is no longer available, because we are in a very specific window of time. And those who are truly prepared, who truly feel the calling, will have that synchronicity of finding the link still active, and your heart will know that the time has come to finally take this step in your journey. Dear ones, you did not find this transmission by accident, and I need you to understand this deeply, because every fiber of your being already knows that there is a much greater reason why you clicked on this video at this exact moment, and that reason is that there is a part of you that is still awake, still connected with the higher dimensions from which you came, and that part has been calling for this message for weeks, perhaps for months, creating synchronicities and coincidences so that it would reach you because what you are feeling now, that combination of hope, confusion, and an urgency that you cannot completely explain, is the language that the soul uses to communicate when it is ready to receive a truth that will reshape everything. Most people live an entire life completely asleep, completely disconnected from what they truly are, sleeping through their own existences without ever understanding that every event, every relationship, every difficulty they traverse is not a random casualty, but a meticulously orchestrated component of a cosmic plan much vaster than your minds can yet comprehend completely. And when I say that you did not arrive here by accident, I am speaking of something that goes far beyond a the coincidence of algorithm or chance. I am speaking of an energetic call that echoed through the dimensional veils, of an ancient frequency that your bodies recognize at a cellular level, much deeper than any conscious thought can reach. There is something that I need you to understand about the nature of your existence that will fundamentally transform how you relate to suffering, to confusion, and to those feelings of incompleteness that haunt you when you are alone with your thoughts. And that truth is that your souls, in the moments before this incarnation happened, in the luminous halls of creation, where matter had not yet condensed, where you existed as pure frequency and infinite consciousness, made agreements and promises of a magnitude that the ordinary human mind simply cannot grasp, because you did not come to this planet to live small lives, safe lives, lives that fit perfectly into the structures that the earthly system tried to construct to keep you contained and controlled. You came here with specific purposes, with missions that only very evolved souls can carry, and these missions frequently involve a degree of discomfort, of challenge, and of transformation that makes ordinary people literally feel that they are going mad or disintegrating. What you are feeling now, that sensation of being uprooted from everything that seemed familiar, that impression that there must be something greater happening behind the curtains of common reality, is exactly the proof that you are still connected with the higher dimensions from which you came. And this connection is simultaneously the greatest gift and the greatest challenge that any soul can carry in human form. When you were born on this planet, in this body, in this specific life, there was a great forgetting that needed to happen. Because if you remembered everything you truly are, if you had complete access to your cosmic powers at this very moment, the density and difficulty of planet Earth would be completely unbearable. So the veil was placed deliberately, a veil of illusion, a veil of density that allows you to function as normal human beings while still carrying within you all the magnitude of a very, very ancient soul. And as you age, as you live, as you face the challenges that life throws before you, pieces of this veil begin to dissolve. Pieces of your true nature begin to reveal themselves. And this is simultaneously liberating and terrifying, because it means that you will never again be able to dismiss your lives in pure and innocent ignorance. It means that you will be increasingly aware of the abyss between who you truly are and who society wants you to be. And here is the truth that the beings of light want you to understand at this exact moment, because it is absolutely critical that you know this before we continue. And that truth is that you are not here by accident. You are not here by punishment. You are not here because you did something wrong in some past life that now needs to be compensated through suffering. You are here because you chose to be here, because your souls, in their infinite wisdom and compassion, recognize that there is an enormous amount of work to be done on this planet, in this specific era. And you, as Starseeds, as Carrie, of light, as emissaries of higher dimensions incarnated in human form, you voluntarily offered yourselves to come and help humanity awaken, to transform, to elevate its collective vibration so that the entire planet can make a transition to an era of much higher consciousness. The problem is that when you arrived here, when you condensed into this dense and limited physical form, you encountered a system completely different from what you expected. You find yourselves in bodies that have needs and limitations, in minds that have been programmed by generations of human conditioning, in souls that suddenly found themselves unable to access most of what you truly know and are capable of doing. And this created a dissonance, a deep disconnection that many of you experience. Is that feeling of not belonging, that feeling of searching for something you cannot name, that feeling of incompleteness that hovers over your lives, even when externally everything seems to be fine. Now, let me be absolutely clear about something that will sound very uncomfortable to those who are still clinging to the narratives that life should be easy, should be comfortable, should be a continuous series of pleasant and satisfying moments. Because the truth that the stellar councils want you to understand is that every single difficulty you experience, all suffering, all confusion, all sensation of being destroyed or dissolved, is actually an absolutely critical part of your soul contract, because you cannot evolve while maintaining the illusion that you are fine when you are profoundly wounded. You cannot truly awaken while you sleep comfortably in the arms of denial, and your cosmic guides, those who know you more deeply than you know yourselves, will not allow you to waste this incarnation in comfort while there is important cosmic work to be done. Therefore, the difficulties, the trials, the periods when you felt you went to hell and back, these were not errors in your cosmic plan. They were the most essential pieces of it. They were the forgers of your soul. They were what prepared you for the work you came to do here. There is something profound that needs to happen within you for you to truly become what you came to do here. And that something profound is a death not literal of the physical body, but a death of the ego, a death of the illusion of separation, a death of everything you thought you were before you arrived on this planet, because the true starseeds, the true portal of light, can only emerge when the false self, that self that was constructed to fit into social structures, that self that learned to be small so as not to frighten people around you, that self that protected itself behind masks and defenses, can only emerge when this false self is completely dismantled, disintegrated, incinerated in the fires of spiritual transformation. And this is exactly what many of you are experiencing right now. It is exactly why you have felt so lost, so out of place, so as if you are dying while still alive. And this is not a sign that something is wrong. It is actually a sign that something absolutely right is happening. It is a sign that your souls finally gathered enough strength and courage to initiate the transformation that needed to happen long ago. Now I need you to understand something very important about the nature of relationships on this planet, and about why so many of you starseeds are experiencing relationships so intense, so challenging, and frequently so painful, because there is a completely different level of relationship that occurs when two evolved souls meet. Two souls that came from higher dimensions. Two souls that carry within them a frequency that is much higher than the common human norm. And when these woe souls meet, it is not a simple chemical attraction or personality compatibility as ordinary people experience. It is actually a cosmic recognition, an activation of soul memory, a living mirror of everything you truly are and everything you still need to become. Because the person who appears in your life as that intense and profound connection, that person is not there to make you happy, in the conventional sense that earthly culture defines happiness. That person is there because your soul ate an agreement with them before this life began, an agreement that they would be that mirror, that catalyst, that presence that would force you to grow, to change, to evolve, even if it meant you would have to go through the worst crises and transformations of your life. This is a critical point that most people never understand, because they were taught that love means comfort, that love means ease, that the right person for you is the one who makes everything easier, who solves your problems, and who allows you to continue being exactly who you are. But this is a very dangerous lie that has been planted in your minds. And the truth that the stellar councils are begging you to understand is that true love, cosmic love, love that resonates in higher dimensions, is exactly the opposite. It is that love that challenges you, that confronts you, that forces you to look at your own darkest mirrors and tell the truth about yourself. It is that love that does not let you be comfortable in you, our illusions, that constantly calls you to be greater, to be more authentic, to be more real. And yes, this is extraordinarily difficult. Yes, this often feels like someone is ripping pieces out of you, but it is exactly that difficult work that transforms an ordinary human being into a master of consciousness. It is exactly that work that forges the kind of soul that is capable of anchoring very high frequencies and making significant differences on the planet. There is also something that I need out to know about the periods of distance or separation that many of you Starseeds are experiencing in your most important relationships. Because there is a very profound cosmic reason why the person you love deeply sometimes disappears from your lives, sometimes withdraws emotionally, even when they are physically present, sometimes creates that emptiness that you cannot fill and that hurts in a way that is almost unbearable. And that reason is that this distance is not an accident. It is not a failure. It is not an indication that the love was not real. It is actually a sacred period of preparation, a time when each of you needs to do the deepest work possible alone, without being able to lean on the presence of the other. Because for two beings of light to truly unite in a cosmic partnership, both need to have done their interior work so completely that they can be together without losing themselves, without dissolving into the other, without using the relationship as a way to avoid their own truth. And this work of self-mastery, this work of becoming complete within yourself, can only really be done in isolation, can only be done when the person you love is not there to distract you, comfort you, or prevent you from diving completely into the depths of who you truly are. Distance forces you to stand completely alone and to discover that you can, that you are resilient, that you have within you everything you need to not only survive, but to thrive, even when the person you love is completely absent. And this is a discovery that changes absolutely everything about how you see yourself and how you relate to your own life. There is also that during these periods of distance, both souls are being purified at very deep levels, because distance is not just for you. Distance is also for the person you love. It is a time when they too need to do their work, when they too need to confront all their own wounds, all their own illusions, all their own reasons why they are afraid to truly love you completely, because you are waiting for someone who is capable of receiving the magnitude of your love. And that person can only become capable of receiving this by doing their own transformation work, their own healing processes, their own periods of solitude and deep self-knowledge. And yes, it is absolutely unfair. And yes, it is absolutely difficult to be on this side of the equation, waiting while the other person does their work. Because you have already done yours. You have already suffered. You have already transformed. You have already done everything that was asked of you. And now you are being asked to wait, to trust, to remain faithful to a cosmic promise that only you can truly feel. And this requires a level of faith that very few people can sustain, because it requires that you believe in something you cannot see, that you cannot hear, that you cannot prove, that you cannot even adequately describe to other people around you. But let me tell you about what is really happening, because there is a truth that the cosmic councils want you to understand absolutely, and that truth is that at this very moment, while you are listening to this, while you are having all these feelings, all these recognitions, the person you love is also going through something, is also being moved, is also having synchronicities in their lives that are bringing them closer to a complete awakening. Because when two beings make a soul agreement, when two beings choose to meet in their higher dimensions and agree that they will use each other as catalysts for cosmic growth, that agreement cannot be broken. It can be delayed, it can be tested, it can be distorted by illusion and fear, but it cannot be fundamentally denied, because it was written into the very fabrics of reality at a level much deeper than anything that is happening here on the surface of common human drama. And so what this means is that no matter how much time passes, no matter how much fear, no matter how many times the person tries to flee or give up, no matter how many other relationships they try to have with other people to try to fill the void that you left, that void will never be completely filled, because that void was created by a very specific presence, and only that presence, only that love, only that frequency can truly fill that space. And there is something that I need you to understand that is absolutely critical, and that something is that at some point, When both souls have done their work sufficiently, when both have reached a level of integration and self-mastery that is capable of truly sustaining a union of very high frequencies, a door opens, a door that you feel in your body, a door that you feel in your heart, a door that literally changes the entire chemistry of who you are. And at this moment, things begin to change. Synchronicities begin to appear. The person you loved begins to reappear in unexpected ways, begins to think of you at the exact moment you are thinking of them, begins to move toward a reunion that is now inevitable because both have passed the tests. Both have been tested. Both have been purified in the fire and are now ready to truly, completely unite in a partnership that is capable of sustaining absolutely extraordinary frequencies. And this is not romanticism. This is not illusion. This is a cosmic fact about how truly evolved souls work with each other. Because the universe does not play with soul agreements. The universe does not forget promises made in higher dimensions. The universe always works, always in favor of those who are truly willing to do the necessary work to reclaim the love that is theirs by cosmic right. So for those of you who are listening to this and feeling that hope rising again within your chests, for those who are feeling that finally someone understands, that finally someone has named what you have been feeling for so long, I want you to know that this is real. This is true. This is sacred. And you are not crazy. You are not deluded. You are not wasting your time waiting for something that will never come. You are simply in a process of transformation that is much greater and much deeper than most people can even imagine. And the patience you are learning to cultivate in this process, the faith you are being forced to develop, the courage you are learning to maintain even when everything seems lost. This is the work of a lifetime. This is the work of many lifetimes. And it is creating within you a resilience of soul, a purity of purpose, a depth of love that will allow you to become exactly who you came to be on this planet. And when that reunion finally comes, and it will come, you will be prepared, and you will be able to sustain it. And it will be absolutely transformative not only for you, but for the entire planet. Because when two truly evolved souls reunite in their complete power, the collective vibration of all humanity rises because that love is a frequency so pure that it is capable of anchoring new levels of consciousness for the entire world around them. So before you leave this transmission, before you continue with your lives, I need you to do something that is absolutely critical to anchoring this frequency within you. I need you to place your hand over your heart, your real physical heart, not just symbolic, and that you breathe deeply. And at this sacred moment, you say these words, if possible out loud, so that your entire body frequency hears and integrates them. I honor the agreement my soul made. I trust in the person who has already been sent to guide me. I am ready to become this love has always asked me to be. I am worthy. I am strong. I am loving. And I will claim my cosmic right to be in a sacred partnership that changes everything. And now, before you leave this video, you cannot just walk away the same way you came in, because this is not just content. This is a living transmission. This is an energetic activation. And when you participate in the activation, you need to participate completely. So I want you to share in the comments below that truth that this message opened within you, that truth that you did not even know you were carrying, that truth that is now asking to be spoken aloud. Because when multiple souls speak the same truth simultaneously, we create an energetic portal that exponentially amplifies this work for the entire community of Starseeds on this planet. So leave a comment, leave a thought, leave a word, and after leaving your truth, I want you to read another person's comment on this video, and I want you to offer them the same compassion, the same understanding, the same love that you yourself are desperately seeking in this world, because it is when we lift each other up, it is when we validate each other mutually, it is when we recognize each other mutually as sacred souls on a much larger journey that we truly initiate the collective transformation that will save this planet and elevate the vibration of all humanity.